And the Oscar goes to Dances with Wolves, Jim Wilson and Kevin Costner.
Back in 1991, when Dances with Wolves hit theaters, it wasn't just another Western, it became the Western. It clinched 7 Oscars, and it had a shot at 12 nominations. Domestically, it hauled in a hefty $184 million, making it the 3rd highest-grossing film of 1990, trailing behind the unexpected hits Home Alone and Ghost. But its success didn't stop at home. It raked in an additional $240 million worldwide, solidifying its position as one of the most triumphant Westerns ever created. However, the story of Dances with Wolves goes far beyond what you saw on the silver screen. Behind the scenes, it held a trove of hidden secrets and surprises, waiting to be uncovered. In this video, we'll peel back the curtain on this iconic film, revealing the incredible effort that went into making it one of the most award-winning Westerns of all time. So, fasten your seatbelts, because we're about to embark on a fascinating journey into the world of Dances with Wolves. It all began with a novel. The journey of this project had quite an unconventional start. Initially, it began as an unsold script, and it was Kevin Costner, the actor and aspiring director, who encouraged Michael Blake to reevaluate its potential, suggesting a different path. They had initially met during an acting class, and were both captivated by the world of Plains Indians. The concept for what would become Dances with Wolves had taken root, but the challenge lay in finding someone willing to publish it as a novel. Strangely enough, there were no takers for this remarkable story. This is where Costner's ingenious idea came into play. He proposed that they should first transform it into a novel before approaching the studios with a screenplay. Blake embarked on the arduous task of crafting the novel over several months, immersing himself in the rich tapestry of Plains Indian life during the Civil War era. Once the manuscript was ready, it was time to seek out potential publishers. However, the journey was fraught with disappointment as rejection after rejection poured in. More than 30 publishers declined to publish Blake's work, leaving him disheartened and frustrated. But then, against the odds, a small publishing house by the name of Fawcett stepped forward with a willingness to take a chance on this unique story. This pivotal moment marked the turning point for Dances with Wolves, from strife to success. Kevin Costner, always a steadfast friend, held a deep desire to see Michael Blake achieve success. Before Dances with Wolves skyrocketed into cinematic stardom, Costner made valiant attempts to help Blake break into the industry. He arranged numerous interviews for Blake with various studios, hoping to open doors for his talented friend. Unfortunately, these encounters took an unexpected turn, leaving a trail of disappointment in their wake. In later recollections, Costner revealed that during these meetings, Blake's frustration and desperation often got the best of him. He engaged in heated arguments with studio representatives, unintentionally alienating himself and inadvertently sabotaging any potential opportunities that came their way. Despite the tumultuous interactions, Blake remained dedicated to his work on Dances with Wolves, and he resided with Costner while tirelessly working on the manuscript. Blake's determination was relentless, and he yearned for Costner's feedback. He persistently badgered his friend to read the unfinished manuscript. However, due to their recent clashes, Costner was hesitant to engage in any discussions about the project. Blake's constant presence began straining their friendship, making it uncomfortable for both. Eventually, Blake reached a point where he felt unwelcome and decided to relocate to Arizona. There, he eked out a living, earning a meager wage of $3.35 an hour washing dishes at a Chinese restaurant. In a moment of desperation, he turned to Costner for financial assistance. Despite the complexities of their relationship, Costner responded with genuine compassion. He sent Blake a sleeping bag and a portable stove, offering support in his own way. Yet, even amidst these challenging circumstances, Blake's tenacity remained unyielding. He continued to pour his heart into writing, eventually completing the manuscript for Dances with Wolves. Costner could no longer ignore his friend's plea and, with some hesitation, agreed to read the finished work. As Costner delved into the pages, something extraordinary occurred. He later expressed, "It was the clearest idea for a movie that I had ever read." This pivotal moment transformed their turbulent friendship into a profound collaboration that would go on to reshape the landscape of cinema. Why Costner reached out to other directors. Costner's quest to explore other directorial options began with good intentions. Prior to fully committing to the role of director himself, he embarked on a mission to engage other well-known directors in the project. His approach involved sharing the script with 3 prominent figures within the film industry. However, this endeavor did not unfold as smoothly as he had hoped. Regrettably, each of these established directors had their own vision for the film, and their ideas clashed with the core essence of the story. One director proposed the removal of a crucial Civil War sequence at the beginning, while another advocated for a non-white romantic interest, aiming to break away from prevailing stereotypes. These fundamental differences in creative direction left Costner in a challenging predicament. Ultimately, faced with the inability to find common ground or reach a compromise with the other directors, Costner made the pivotal decision to assume the role of director himself, taking on the responsibility of bringing Dances with Wolves to life according to his vision, Stunts. Kevin Costner embraced an adventurous journey during the making of Dances with Wolves, taking on the challenge of performing the majority of his own stunts. Impressively, he tackled around 95% of the demanding physical feats required for his character, including horseback riding, shooting, engaging in fights, and even dancing. However, the fact that Costner held the dual roles of both the film's star and its director did raise concerns among the production team. One particularly heart-stopping moment occurred during a buffalo hunting scene when he was unexpectedly thrown from his horse. This incident understandably sent a wave of fear and anxiety through the set. Incredibly, Costner emerged from the incident unharmed. Honorary Member of the Sioux. Kevin Costner earned a special honor as he was made an honorary member of the Sioux tribe in recognition of his portrayal of their daily life in the film. During the induction ceremony, he received a symbolic feather to wear in his hair and a hand-woven quilt. However, his relationship with some members of the Sioux community later faced challenges when he purchased several hundred acres in South Dakota's Black Hills and announced his intentions to develop the land. This decision led to some discord among the Sioux. Fortunately, in 2013, Costner decided to abandon his plans for development, showing understanding and sensitivity towards the concerns raised by the tribe and the sacred nature of the land. Financial struggles. Faced with numerous rejections from American studios that deemed the project too risky, Kevin Costner remained resolute in his determination to bring Dances with Wolves to life. To secure the necessary funding for his ambitious vision, he embarked on a bold venture that extended beyond Hollywood's borders, seeking support from international investors. After persistent efforts, he successfully secured a vital seed investment from a small group of foreign financiers. Although this initial funding only covered a fraction of the film's estimated $15 million budget. Undaunted by the financial challenges, Costner took a courageous leap of faith and initiated filming with the limited resources available. The pressure was immense, but his unwavering belief in the story fueled his determination. Fortunately, his gamble paid off when Orion Pictures, impressed by the early footage, stepped in and committed to injecting $10 million into the production. This financial support provided a much-needed lifeline for the project. However, even with Orion's contribution, the costs associated with filming in the expansive South Dakota wilderness and the meticulous recreation of the Lakota Sioux culture exceeded the combined budgets. When all was said and done, Dances with Wolves ended up exceeding its budget by an additional $3 million. At this crucial juncture, Kevin Costner, who had become a rising star with a burgeoning bank account thanks to his success in films like Field of Dreams, made a bold decision. He personally covered the financial shortfall, a substantial gamble for an actor transitioning into the role of a director. Buffalo hunting. The buffalo hunt scene in Dances with Wolves required meticulous planning and demonstrated exceptional filmmaking expertise. It was an impressive spectacle as they had to capture footage of a real herd of over 3,500 buffalo running across the plains. The filming conditions were challenging, with the crew having just one opportunity per day to capture the majestic buffalo stampede. The process began early in the morning, around 5 a.m., as described by filmmaker Jim Wilson. The crew's strategy involved using tractor-trailers to attempt to guide the buffalo herd into a favorable position by 11 a.m. To achieve this, they employed a team of 20 Jeep Wranglers, a helicopter, and 10 pickup trucks equipped with cameras to capture this remarkable sequence. The Lakota language in Dances with Wolves. The Lakota Sioux language played a significant role in Dances with Wolves, with more than a quarter of the script requiring translation. This marked a departure from traditional Western films where Native American characters typically spoke in English. However, translating the Lakota language presented a formidable challenge, as finding individuals fluent in the language, let alone skilled translators, proved to be an arduous task. Enter Doris Leadercharge, an educator at South Dakota's Sinte Gleska University at the time, renowned for her expertise in Lakota language and culture. When director Kevin Costner learned about her, he promptly sent her the script. Remarkably, about 3 weeks later, he received a complete translation from her. This accomplishment was monumental, especially considering that Leadercharge had never previously encountered a movie script. Recognizing the invaluable resource that Leadercharge represented, Costner went beyond mere translation. He extended an invitation for Leadercharge to not only assist the actors with their pronunciation and delivery, but also to assume the speaking role of Pretty Shield, the wife of the Lakota warrior Ten Bears. Initially hesitant due to her teaching commitments, Leadercharge was eventually persuaded after Costner contacted the university president and secured an extended leave for her. Lakota actors lacked perfection. While Doris Leadercharge did an outstanding job teaching Lakota to individuals who had no prior knowledge of the language before filming, there were certain intricacies that remained unaddressed. One notable example is Lakota's complexity, which includes gender-specific speech, causing certain words to have distinct meanings for both men and women. However, the film omitted this gendered speech due to the challenges it would have posed in integration. As a result, viewers who were familiar with the dialect found it amusing that the male tribesmen consistently spoke using the female dialect throughout the movie. The wolves on set. Filming scenes involving wolves turned into quite an adventure. While Kevin Costner's character, Dunbar, forms a close bond with a wolf named Two Socks on screen, the reality of bringing this relationship to life features two furry stars, Buck and Teddy. Even though these wolves were trained, anyone with a love for animals knows that trained wolves still retain their wild instincts. This meant that loads of patience and undoubtedly plenty of delectable meat scraps were necessary to keep Buck and Teddy cooperative. The filmmakers were willing to go the extra mile, even if it meant a bit of embarrassment, to capture the perfect shot. Behind-the-scenes footage reveals producer Jim Wilson and Kevin Costner doing their best wolf call impressions in a desperate attempt to elicit a howl from the wolves. While their attempts might not have won any awards for accuracy, they demonstrated the dedication and humor that went into creating the film's most captivating animal relationships. Working with wild animals always presents its unique challenges, and the Dances with Wolves crew embraced the unconventional. Their commitment to authenticity meant accepting that not everything could be perfectly controlled, and sometimes the best and most genuine performances came from the unpredictability of their animal co-stars. So, the next time you see two socks on screen, remember that the howl might have been inspired by a chorus of human howls, not just the wind on the prairie. Annie Costner. One of the charming and heartwarming aspects of the film Dances with Wolves was the appearance of Kevin Costner's own daughter, Annie Costner, in a child role. Annie portrayed the character stands with a fist in a dream sequence within the movie. In this particular scene, viewers can see young Annie as stands with a fist, desperately fleeing from the Pawnee, who tragically had taken the lives of her family. As she runs for her life, she anxiously looks over both shoulders, and in the midst of the intense moment, her on-screen father, played by Kevin Costner, instructs her to check her left side. However, here comes the delightful twist to the story. Annie, at the time of production, was only 6 years old. Like many children her age, she was still learning the difference between her left and right. This behind-the-scenes tidbit adds a touch of innocence and authenticity to her performance, making it all the more endearing. Despite her young age and the challenges it might have presented, Annie's presence in the film adds a unique and personal dimension to the movie, creating a special connection between the Costner family and the Dances with Wolves audience, the unexpected stars. While Dances with Wolves showcased the breathtaking beauty of a massive herd of 3,500 wild buffalo roaming the expansive plains, the filmmaking process also required capturing close-up shots with domesticated buffalo. In this unexpected twist, two remarkable animal stars stepped into the spotlight to play crucial roles in the production. First in the spotlight was Mammoth, an extraordinary buffalo with a rather legendary owner, none other than the iconic singer-songwriter Neil Young. Mammoth, accustomed to the hustle and bustle of life on tour, turned out to be the perfect choice for the film's more intimate scenes. His serene demeanor and cooperative nature made him an invaluable asset to the entire production team, ensuring that those tender moments on screen felt genuinely authentic. For the more adrenaline-pumping buffalo sequences, the crew turned to an entirely different character, Cody, the mascot of a South Dakota meat manufacturer. Cody, renowned for his impressive physique and boundless energy, was the ideal pick for a scene involving a young Lakota brave who finds himself in a harrowing encounter with a charging buffalo. However, coaxing Cody to hit his marks wasn't as simple as yelling action. In a delightful twist, producer Jim Wilson revealed to Entertainment Weekly that Cody's true motivation was none other than Oreos. A mere glimpse of these black and white treats, and Cody would spring into action like a bullet, following the delectable scent wherever it led. This endearing quirk added a touch of humor and unpredictability to the production, leaving everyone on set both entertained and amazed by Cody's antics. As producer Jim Wilson emphasized in his interview with Entertainment Weekly, these furry co-stars, each with their distinct personalities and quirks, contributed a unique charm and lightheartedness to the film. Real-life characters in Dances with Wolves. While the movie featured a character named John Dunbar, inspired by a pro-Native American missionary who established alliances with the Pawnee during the 1800s, it's important to note that the film's portrayal bears little resemblance to the real-life individual. On the other hand, the character Stands with Fist had a deeper connection to historical events. She was based on the life of Cynthia Ann Parker, a young girl who was tragically kidnapped by the Comanche tribe in 1836 at the tender age of 10. Cynthia Ann Parker's harrowing experience served as the inspiration for this character. She remained with the Comanche tribe for nearly a quarter of a century until her eventual capture by Texas Rangers in 1860. This real-life story adds a layer of authenticity and historical context to the character of Stands with Fist in the film. Production delays. The production faced significant delays attributed to the unpredictable weather of the South Dakota Plains, the challenges of working with real wolves, and the complexity of filming Native American battle scenes. These unforeseen obstacles led to numerous interruptions during production. However, among the various challenges encountered, the epic bison hunt sequence proved to be the most arduous to capture. This particular scene demanded an extensive amount of time, spanning over 3 weeks, and involved the coordination of 100 Native American stunt riders. Notably, the scene also featured a stampeding herd of thousands of bison, adding to its complexity. Despite the considerable effort invested, the end result is widely recognized as one of the most awe-inspiring and breathtaking sequences in the history of cinema. The reason behind the abandonment of Fort Sedgwick becomes clear as Dunbar arrives there. He had requested to be stationed in the western frontier, but upon his arrival he found the fort in a state of disrepair and abandonment. The movie itself does not explicitly detail why Fort Sedgwick was in such a sorry state, but there is a crucial scene that was left out, which provides a significant explanation. This omitted scene sheds light on the fort's condition, revealing that Garrison's encampment had fallen victim to theft by hostile forces who stole their horses and subsequently deserted them. They had endured numerous threats from Native American groups while waiting for a supply train and reinforcements that never materialized. Faced with these dire circumstances, the soldiers ultimately decided to abandon their post, just as Dunbar arrived at the scene. Dances with Wolves, Silence the Naysayers. News of the tumultuous production of Dances with Wolves quickly made its rounds in Hollywood. There were rumors of a ballooning budget, a demanding director, and a relatively unknown leading lady, all of which fueled skepticism. Some insiders even cynically predicted its failure, dubbing it Costner's last stand in reference to Michael Cimino's notorious financial flop, Heaven's Gate. Others, recalling the industry's past disasters, humorously labeled it Kevin's Gate. Critics of the film were not shy about voicing their doubts. They questioned the feasibility of a 3-hour Western finding an audience, poked fun at Costner's decision to both direct and star, and wondered about the wisdom of focusing on a Native American perspective in a genre traditionally centered on romanticizing cowboys. However, when Dances with Wolves finally made its debut on the big screen, everything changed. The film's breathtaking landscapes, authentic emotions, and Costner's remarkable performance captivated audiences worldwide. Even the critics who had initially prepared to criticize it had to swallow their words. Instead of the anticipated disaster, Dances with Wolves became a colossal box office success, grossing an astonishing nearly $425 million. It went on to sweep the 1991 Academy Awards, clinching 7 Oscars, including the coveted titles of Best Picture and Best Director for Costner. The triumph of the film not only silenced the doubters, but also served as proof that Hollywood's conventional formulas were not the sole path to success. Dances with Wolves dared to be different, offering a narrative that challenged expectations and resonated with audiences on a profound level. In doing so, it achieved both critical acclaim and commercial triumph. The roller coaster ride of Orion Pictures. Orion Pictures, known for its successful films like RoboCop and Platoon, faced a rough patch in the late 80s. A string of box office failures led to a dramatic 50% decline in their stock value and a daunting $500 million debt burden. As David Forbes, Orion's marketing chief, candidly put it, "We desperately needed a win." And that's precisely when Dances with Wolves came into the picture. This epic Western stormed into theaters, captivating both audiences and critics alike. However, despite this remarkable success, it couldn't salvage Orion from its financial woes. The following year, Orion attempted another major release with the chilling thriller Silence of the Lambs, but the damage to their finances was irreparable, leading to Orion's bankruptcy filing in 1991. For a while, it seemed like Orion's story had come to an end. Yet, as Hollywood often does, it rewrote the narrative. In 1996, MGM acquired Orion, breathing new life into the studio. Then, in 2014, the iconic Orion logo made a triumphant return to the big screen, gracing the horror film The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Today, Orion continues to be a part of the MGM family, operating as a smaller label with a focus on releasing art house films and smaller budget projects. While Orion's heyday of producing major blockbusters may be a thing of the past, its legacy endures through a cherished library of classic films. It serves as a reminder that even in the competitive landscape of Hollywood, second chances are indeed possible. As we wrap up this journey behind the scenes of Dances with Wolves, we hope you've discovered some fascinating insights about this iconic film. From its challenging production to its impact on Hollywood and Native American representation, Dances with Wolves continues to be a source of inspiration and discussion. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What aspect of the film surprised you the most? Have you ever noticed the subtle details that make it unique? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating content. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.